I'm Richard. Welcome to Burning Spears. Today I'm going to do a very simple recipe, tomato salad, but simple yet complex because there's a few tricks to think about when making it, and there's loads of possible variants. And today I'm going to eat it with a lovely ribeye steak that I'm going to have for breakfast, because this is I want to try and get a few videos done today. So this is number one. So steak and tomato salad for breakfast. And let's get on to the ingredients and how I make tomato salad. Right, so when making tomato salad, you want a good quality tomato and it must be ripe. So I love growing tomatoes, and these are my own organic tomatoes that I've grown. This is my first harvest for the season. I'm a little bit upset. I don't really have any tigers. I love a good tiger, but for some reason they're not that tigery. But I've got some pinks that first time I've grown those, beautiful, and a lot of yellows this year, which I'm quite happy about. But good quality, ripe tomatoes. Now when using ripe tomatoes, there's a couple of things that you've got to think about before you make the salad, and the timing, especially regarding to the timing of making the salad. I'll get onto that in a bit. So, bunch of tomatoes, salt, pepper, lemon juice. I like using lemon juice as opposed to balsamic. Sometimes I use balsamic when I want to feel like I'm on holiday, but lemons are, as I'm sure a lot of you know that watch my videos, lemons are a very big ingredient in my life. And good quality olive oil. Normally I use a light peppery one, but this is good enough. It's good quality Italian olive oil, feta cheese, and your herb of choice. So today I've got mint because that's what's in abundance in my garden. I love thyme, of course basil, and rosemary. And you can use oregano, and marjoram if you want, and a mix of all of that. Parsley, I don't really regard as a flavorful herb. It's great in these settings, but I like these aromatic herbs. So feta today, because a lot of people like feta. I like feta, whereas I often make tomato salad just with tomatoes. They actually marinate very well. So they will soak up the ingredient because they're mostly water. They will soak up the salt. They need a lot of salt to get flavor into that tomato so that they can put themselves on their best foot for your flavor receptacles. So lots of salt, and they soak in acid, they soak in the herb, marinate very well, and really provide a lot of flavor per mouthful. Okay, so the question about timing with tomato salad, tomatoes in general, when they're really ripe, they're almost going to sort of naturally break down as the water drains from the fruit. And if you're going to be doing this in any amount of time before, you want to stop here. You want to put them on a sieve and let that water continue to drain so that it doesn't increase the breakdown of the rest of the tomato structure. So let that drain away. If you were to add salt and season and prep the salad well before time, and I'm even talking when they're ripe like this, 20-30 minutes before time, you would have a lot of tomato juice in the bottom and they would start breaking down, which can be a nice thing, but you just have to be careful. So typically you stop at this stage and then you get all your prep done. Then just before you're ready to serve, or 20 minutes before you're ready to serve your food, that's when you combine all the ingredients. So luxury aside, I'm not going to do any of that today for the video because I need to get on with it so I don't bore you to death. But I'm going to carefully toss, and you want to toss your salad by itself generally. Why? Because that stops you from breaking up things like feta too much and having to overwork these tomatoes. Basically, you're going to toss them gently like this, and then you're going to add the ingredients and just a quick toss so that there's not an over tossing. That sounds like the word of the day. So there we go. And these are beautiful and ripe. And I've probably got some moisture down at the bottom already. Yes, I do. Hope you can see that. So I might drain that off just before. But yeah, that would go in the fridge now for a bit typically. So just a little caveat, not sure if that's the right word, but I'm using it. Just a little caveat on tomatoes. So generally with most vegetables that you buy today, they are bred over time, they're hybrids, and all of that to give them particular properties. Increased sugar levels, like with fruit. Fruit oil did not taste so sweet. And of course, you think you're eating healthy, but you're eating a lot of sugar, a lot more sugar. Hence, fruit juices have come into the spotlight lately. Now, with regard to fruit and veg, you get the whole cold storage thing in near zero oxygen atmospheres. When that piece of fruit is picked, it starts degrading because of natural oxidization, etc., etc. So by then placing it in a cold environment with zero oxygen, full of carbon dioxide, that slows that process down. Now that process is still going ahead, it's just slower. So it takes a lot longer for that fruit to go off. So living in the United Kingdom, unless it's grown down the road, it's really not fresh. And instead of harping on it, but this isn't a food and farming practice lecture and carbon mile lecture, I just pull it back to tomatoes. So in the UK, certainly outside of summer, the majority of tomatoes are imported. They're imported from places like Spain and Holland. Polytunnels, stuff grown in polytunnels, stuff fed with all sorts of stuff to get the results, etc., etc. And I recently saw a documentary on the plastic pollution, the microplastic pollution from polytunnels. The polytunnel cities in Spain you can view them from space. Now, there's a lower lining of plastic and there's an upper lining of plastic. The lower lining isn't really UV resistant. Regardless, that stuff's dumped onto patches of soil right next to where they grow the tomatoes. The sun makes it brittle, it just breaks, and there's your microplastic farm right there. So often we don't have a choice where we can get our tomatoes from. But in summer, I like growing my own. And I don't use those salad tomatoes, those things that last for weeks and weeks and weeks. And you cut them, they're tasteless, they're just slightly watery with too much crunch. So yeah, so good quality tomatoes. If you can grow your own, it's so rewarding, so easy, even I can do it. Right, so we're going to assemble this now. So I'm just going to show you, it's literally been 10 minutes that this has been in the fridge for. So you can see without salt the amount of water that's been released, or liquid that's been released from the tomatoes. If you'd added salt and waited 20 minutes, you'd have 5 times that. Now, of course, from now on when you assemble, your they're going to break apart so quickly that you're going to have a lot of that. And it's up to your discretion as to if you want to leave it in the bottom, the residual dressing and the juices, or if you want to take some out and sieve it. I suppose you could put your salt on these and then put them on a sieve, but it just starts getting too complex. So it's really a lot easier just to be quick. Right, so remember we don't want to turn this around too much. So you're going to put, I'm going to put about a tablespoon of mint in here. That's what you saw me chop, all of it. Do this according to your taste. I like herbs to actually be there and to shine. Feta and mint, great buddies, man. So I'm going to leave that till absolute last. Pepper. For me, loads of freshly crushed black pepper. An absolute must. You can see I'm getting it spread so that when I toss it's not so concentrated that I have to toss it too much. Right, now for the salt. It's probably about 1.5 teaspoons in there. Then the lemon juice or balsamic vinegar. You could grate some raw garlic on here. There's so many permutations, as I'm sure you know, to food in general. So 1.5 small lemons. Probably about 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, so hopefully you can see the amount of juice here. There's lots, and I've just assembled this and strained it off. There's lots. Of course, that is a lot of that is the dressing, the olive oil and the lemon juice, but a lot of that's water coming out, and it will continue to increase. So this should be served straight away. If you want to strain some of that off, go right ahead. And that's why it's important to have your seasoning correct, so that this isn't tasteless, bland, and insipid because of the amount of water going in. So real important on your seasoning. If you want to take this out straight away now. You wouldn't want this to sit for a long time in the fridge. And also, you can, if there's any leftovers, you can strain it off, pop it back in the fridge overnight, and then warm it up in a fry pan just till fairly hot, and stick it on some toast. Absolutely amazing. Just before you serve, you would want to check for seasoning just to make sure you got enough salt to bring those tomatoes out to make them shine. I'm an absolute salt fiend. I figure salt holds moisture. I love tomatoes, so why not eat salt to hold moisture to resemble a tomato? That's my philosophy. Okay. Okay, my mouth's beginning to salivate tremendously now. I'll try and talk and get this segment done. So, different tomatoes have different tastes, textures, levels of acid, levels of flavor, strengths. Some of them have weaknesses, especially the normal run-of-the-mill ones that you get in the shops. So they add their whole different elements or their nuances to a salad. Like, it's not one type of tomato, you know. You could do it with one type of tomato, but it would have to be either an exceptional tomato, or you would have to add a lot of stuff like feta and garlic, maybe some chili to really hero to make the salad complete. And you know, if the tomato was substandard. And it's great. The mint is just there in the background, just adding a bit of happy liveliness. The feta picks up where the salt left off and just sort of hypercharges that flavor and gets things going. The lemon is beautiful. It's great. The pepper, it really, really is good, and it goes so well with steak. Tomatoes, you often see in steakhouses they serve half a grilled tomato with the steak. That is great. This is great. I really am happy with the result here. If you don't do this, try it out. Great ingredient, the tomato. I love it. This is my breakfast. I'm going to eat it off camera. So thanks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Quick one, easy to do. Give it a bash. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Please like the videos. As well as subscribe if you're not a subscriber. It really helps. And yeah, see you next time, and that's it.